Good day and welcome to our technical drawing tutorial as we take a look at the construction of a pentagon given the diameter of its circumscribing circle. That diameter is 60 millimeters. We begin with our horizontal center line. Vertical center line is not very necessary, but why not? And then we are going to draw our circle. The radius of our circle is 60 millimeters, and so we move to our ruler or set square compass point on the 3 centimeter mark, the equivalent of 30 millimeters. Our pencil point on the 0 millimeter mark. Place our compass point at our center or the points of intersection with our center line, and we inscribe our arc, or our circle rather, and then we proceed from there. Because we need to divide our diameter into 5 equal parts, I am going to lengthen or join our center line so that can be done without error. We would like to label our diameter A and F. We then proceed with a line drawn at an angle of our choice at point A, and point A is that location where the circumference of the circle intersects with our center line. A short line at an angle of our choice is drawn from point A and also at a length of our choice, all being convenient. Then we inscribe 5 equally spaced arcs on our inclined line. Two, 3. Notice with every move of the compass, I am not touching that leg that has the pencil point to avoid having to encounter problems with the radius and to ensure that it remains the same throughout our construction process, at least for dividing that line into equal parts. Our line from point A does not seem to be long enough, so I'm going to extend that line so it could intersect with the 5th arc that has been equally spaced. Let's label this point G, just for argument's sake. We now continue by joining points 5, the last arc, the point of intersection with the last arc, and point F. Now we use permit me to label this as point 5 for reference purposes. We use our line 5F as a reference line, and then we are going to slide our set square to the remaining points of intersection on our inclined line. From there we are going to draw parallel lines that are going to end on our line AF, sorry. Having done so, we then move to our compass Placing our compass point at point F and our radius AF, we inscribe an arc from point A. We do the same at point A, center A, radius AF, and we continue in this manner. It is okay if it is touching the G. Let's not worry ourselves with that. But our point of intersection right here is what we need to focus on, and I'd like to label this point of intersection H. We then join point 2 to point H and extend beyond point 2. You may be asking which is point 2, and so let's quickly label 1, 2, and we're looking at this point 2 up here, and aligning again, and we draw our line. This line passes through H, through point 2, and intersects our circumference at point E. Therefore, we join E to D, and that gives us one side of our regular pentagon. Because we are still constructing, it is not necessary for us to use object lines as yet, and so we now move to establish our remaining points. Place our compass point at point E, pencil point at point A, and we inscribe an arc on the circumference of our circle. Move to point A, inscribe another, and then another. Our points found are B, C, and D. We continue by joining point A to point B. Point A to point C, point B to point C, point C to point D, and then point E to point D. This line I'm going to use an object line for because I feel confident enough that this line will be drawn properly. And I'll proceed immediately with the rest of my object lines. Thus highlighting our required shape, our regular pentagon A, B, C, D, E, amidst all the construction working on the drawing sheet. And with that, we come to the end of our construction of a regular pentagon. Given the diameter of its circumscribing circle, Again, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to AutoCADalive@gmail.com.